Okay.
What's happening? We are we live yet? Are we live yet? We live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We
Come
are.
on. Come on, host.
And we are. I'm not the host.
Yes,
I
the fuck
am
you are.
the co-host. Wait.
You are the host
What
of
is
this
the
shit.
wait? Aren't we both co-hosts?
No. No, I'm the co-host.
Wait, no.
You're the host.
Wait, we can't both be co-hosts?
Nigga, who does the host in? Somebody's got to host this bitch.
Oh, so you have to have a host and a co-host.
Yeah, you got all the control. I ain't got no control, so you the host.
Well, the only reason I have control
I don't
is
want to hear that.
okay. We don't care.
Nope, because I can't put no videos up. I can't
You
change no
can't.
shit on the screen. I can't change no
All
backgrounds.
you gotta do is log into my StreamYard on your computer.
Your StreamYard host. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, let's do our intro.
Mm.
I'm Nirvana.
And I am the dynamicist or Jason or Jason. You'll hear either three of those, but you'll only hear me say Jason this entire time. But yeah. Or no, actually you'll hear me say
Here
the
we go.
dynamicist.
Here we go. Cherokee, help me.
What's happening, Cherokee?
Cherokee, help,
What's
help
good, everybody? Thank
Cherokee.
y'all for sliding tonight.
Cherokee, he's already starting with this name, this bullshit about his name.
It's not
Can we
bullshit. It's
do,
real
can
life.
we do the intro again?
Yeah, let's do it. We already did the intro.
No, we
We're
didn't
good already.
finish. Jason, don't
Okay.
be okay. I know you have on your outfit your fucking what's the name of the shit?
You talking about Black Panther?
Yeah, I know you have on your Black Panther shit. Okay, don't start. Let's do it again. Marianne, all we've done so far is argue. You haven't missed anything. All we're trying to do is the intro, like every week. Let's do it again. Marianne, he over here talking about I'm the dynamicist, Jason. Look, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go to
Yeah.
start over. Come on. You ready?
Let's go. Okay.
Ah. What was it? Next time. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay, come on. I'm Nirvana.
And I am the dynamicist,
And
Jason,
we're
Mason,
see
and we're
unlatched.
Unlatched.
Look at Marianne is always telling me to be nice. What is going on?
Cause
Marianne,
you
what?
be
I'm
being
getting a bad
mean.
reputation. Look at this one. Look at him. I'm Cherokee. Look, fuck it. Just everybody in the chat, just put your name in there. And then
Marianne
she's
said,
Marianne, and she's
I'm
Marianne.
Marianne.
Right. Just fuck it. We all just unlatched. Damn.
Mm,
What you drinking on over there?
Peach Crown.
Oh, peach crown. Do you
Yeah,
mix
yeah.
with anything or just ice?
Just ice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I mix it. I think it was really good with orange juice though. I think I told you about that one. Orange juice and the peach crown was really good. Um Peach crown and tea is really good.
Peach crown and tea. That sounds like that would be good with some
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah, because you drink sweet tea anyway. So some people do.
But
So
that seems like that would be sweet, like real sweet. Because
mm,
isn't peach crown kind of sweet?
it has a sweetness to it.
But it's
There,
not. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's overpowering, but for some people it might be. But for me, it's not that bad.
just gotta try
Um,
it.
yeah. It works with my palate. But yeah. So, man, we thank y'all for sliding. What's happening to you? What's happening to everybody in the chat, man? We're back for another installment for this week. I am the co-host. This is the illustrious host here, and we're in illustrious.
What does that mean? Voluptuous? Is it the same?
It is not even close to the same.
Oh, it sounded like voluptuous, voluptuous.
I didn't say illustrious. I
What
said
did you say?
illustrious.
Oh, illustrious. Can we look it up? How do we
Yeah.
let's spell it. He called me illustrious.
No, I did not call you illustrious
What did
anything.
you call me? How do you spell it? Everybody,
ILLUSTRIOUS.
UST. That means something that lights up, ain't it?
No, oh my.
Illustrious. Here it is, you guys. It's ILLUSTRIOUS. Jason said, I'm the illustrious
I
host.
told y'all you're gonna hear Dynamicist, Jason, or Jason in this podcast. So
I
just
call
be prepared. She's talking about me when you hear either
um,
three of those names.
the
But go ahead,
dynamics.
continue.
I'm going to do better.
No, you're not. But go
So
ahead,
the
continue.
dynamics is illustrious means well known, respected, and admired for centuries and centuries to come.
I don't think that centuries and centuries was in there. I don't think that was all in there, but
I
I
was
get it.
I was wondering if you was going to catch. So basically, not for centuries. It says well known, respected, and admired. Then it says for past achievements. So, but I'm gonna add for centuries to come on there. I'm gonna add that on there. Oh my God, what are you guys
Mm.
doing? Wow, you look pretty voluptuous. Thank you. Just blew your picture, Nirvana. Thank you so much. Tia, give me a compliment before we continue. Go ahead, Tia. Everybody's complimenting Nirvana right now. Everybody join in. Jason said I'm illustrious. Marianne said I'm voluptuous. Cherokee said amen when I read the definition of illustrious. So that means he agrees with the dynamicist. Tia, your turn.
Mm. I think Tia might be pleading the fifth on this one
Why? Why would she
because
do
she's a trouble. She's a troublemaker. You
that?
know, you know.
Okay. Wait, here we go. You are amazing Fortnite who leaves your friends in the storm. Okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, because sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And you got to show them every man for themselves. Sometimes you can't, everybody's got to pull their own weight. This is
Yeah,
the lesson here. Let's not go too far.
yeah.
Okay, let me think hard. Okay, she's going to think about it. We'll come back to Tia. We'll come back.
You know, there was yeah, this Fortnite thing. You know, for those of you guys who are out there, maybe you play, maybe you don't play. This is
Play
not the
what?
topic for
Fortnite or
tonight.
video games in general?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Fortnite video games, but in particular it's Fortnite. And in particular, I'm talking about is your Fortnite over 40 piece.
40. He said 40. That's
Did
really
you hear that? I was like, wait a minute.
the ghetto just jumped out. It jumped out. That's okay. Fortnite over 40. Okay, come on. He said
Ooh,
this peach
that
crown. Why are
happened.
you looking at the peach crown like that? Like,
I think that's what did it.
oh my God.
I
What
ain't said 40 in a long time.
40?
It's been-
You said 40. With all your get up on, you said 40. You sure did. Look at my Susan Boo. Hey,
What's
Susan.
happening, Susan? How you doing?
You walked in right on time. Everybody's complimenting me. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dynamics.
Oh, look what Tia said.
What'd she say? You are truly genuine. You keep it real and you stand by those you fuck with.
Yeah.
Susan, your turn.
This is the energy for the night. I'm with it. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna give
Y'all
her.
know,
You
y'all
know
know
what?
I'm just kidding. Y'all
No,
know.
no, no. But no, seriously, let's give you your flowers while you can smell them. That's a really good point though, because I think when it comes to mortality, right? When
Mhm,
you think about life in general,
mhm.
oftentimes we don't tell people how we actually feel sometimes, right? And we assume that people know, but there's power in words. And I think it's very
You,
important
Susan.
to shower people with those compliments and the values that things that you derive from their presence and their impact in your life. I think it's dope. I think it's something we should normalize that shit.
What? Just complimenting.
We should
Be
normalize. Let's
yeah,
hashtag that shit. Let's normalize what's a dope way to say that? Normalize not just compliments, but
normalize
Let me see. Yeah, I think it'll come. But I think it is something that's really worthwhile. I mean, because I don't think enough people know
Marianne,
the
stop.
impact,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, that
Yeah.
they have on other people. And
Normalize. I don't.
normalize
It's got to
giving,
be something short, like normalize.
normalize the statement, or let's normalize.
How would we say that? Let's think
I don't
about it.
know.
Let's
Yeah,
just think about it. It'll come to us later. Yeah. She said normalize being a
yeah,
human.
yeah. I like that too.
Right.
But letting people know, because I in my line of work, you don't always hear that, right? A lot of people's complaints is they don't feel like what they do, or sometimes who they are matters, and what that leads to is a lot of other things and a lot of other concerns, because
Mm-hmm.
um as humans, I think it's just central to our being. I
Mm-hmm.
think it really is central to our being to know that I matter, and I belong, and
I'm
I'm valued. Yeah, and I'm
mm-hmm.
valued.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, let's do that. I like that. I think we're starting off on a good note with this one.
Because you know what, and the thing is, tomorrow's not promised. I know it sounds cliche, but I mean it's the truth. You just don't know. Now, I could do better too, but I'm not just gonna be walking around showering people with compliments. I'm just not. I mean, I'll just tell if it crosses my mind, and I'll just say it. Like I guess, I don't know. Or if I'm writing a card or something, it'll come up. But
I,
people,
I think all that's accurate is bullshit.
who me?
I think all of that's
Well, what
bullshit.
I say? That's bullshit.
I say that because that's what we currently do.
Well, oh,
Right?
just saying
When
that.
people pass away, what
Mhm.
do? We send fucking cards, or we send flowers, or we'll go to a ceremony. By the way, I don't typically go to those ceremonies.
Mhm.
And when my time comes, I don't expect you or nobody else to come and do shit
What
as
you
it
mean?
relates to me. I just don't
You
expect
sound
that.
like my husband. What you
I
mean?
don't.
Okay,
No,
but it's not
I
about
don't.
you. It is, but it ain't. It's about us coming together and convening and getting it out and
So do that. But what I'm
community.
telling you is,
Okay, what are you saying?
I don't need no ceremonies. I don't need no big hoopla. I
We
don't
could go
need
to the
no.
park like we did for
Yeah,
like okay.
yep,
All right,
yep.
cool.
We can go to the
I feel
park.
the same way. I feel the same way. I don't need
I
no. I
don't
mean,
need
just
no.
do for me, Jason, and everybody know. All I want is I want hot air balloons, and I
Mm-hmm.
want everybody to get in a hot air balloon, go up in the sky, even if you're scared. And I want you to release more balloons if it's safe. I'm not sure if it's safe. They may not let you release balloons in a hot air balloon. It might be not safe. But just double check the rules on that. But I want everybody up in the sky with a rose.
That is so sweet. I like that.
I want everybody in a hot air balloon. Whatever state you're in, Tia, get over here. I want you to be in Seattle in a hot air balloon. If something happened to me, I want Yogi in Alabama in a hot air balloon and Courtney. And I want Tia in Seattle. And I want Truth is over here with me in New Mexico. We known for the hot air balloon. You're gonna need to find one in Vegas. Put Melanie and everybody in there with you. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
can all put the family in the one hot air balloon. Everybody have a rose. And what I want you, we're gonna time it. I want you guys to time it, and everybody goes up in the hot air balloon with their roles, and one by one you pick each with the
Pedal.
pedal. You pick the pedal, and every pedal you're gonna think of something kind to say, and you're gonna let it fly over the edge of the
Oh
hot air balloon.
man, I like
Okay,
that.
so I don't want much.
No, that's not a lot. No, no, it's not.
You just have to find a hot air balloon, and you have to conquer your fears if you have fear of heights. And if
Yeah.
you don't do it, I'm coming for you spiritually. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna come to you and talk to you about it in your dreams. Susan, you can do it. Susan, come on. Everybody, come on, guys. That's what Nirvana wants. If she passes, why are we talking about passing away? It's okay.
Well, no, it is because it's a part of like our experience, and I'll reframe that in a second as to
We know
kind
you
of,
want much. We know you want much.
but what I was saying though is like I think we do that now though, right? We're to a degree we're so self-absorbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this in a to consider it a negative, right? It's just a part of like our existence and how our culture operates. But I think being the change you want to see, which is you have to be intentional about that, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
because you have enough reasons to not do it. Enough reason you have enough life going on to not say anything. But I think that being intentional about saying something, right? Reaching out, speaking out, and letting people know, hey, you know what, I really value this, or I value that, or you know what, I really respect the way you did that, or however we want to go about it. But I think normalizing that to where that becomes so consistent in people's experience that when you don't hear it, it registers. Because right now, when you do hear it, it registers. It's kind of like, I didn't expect that. Well, I think we should get to a point. I think we ideally can get to a point where that is expected, and we
Mm-hmm.
have enough casual interactions. And I'm talking about even casual strangers. I've seen it happen. I've seen casual strangers say shit to me. Um, I've said things to casual strangers like, and I never seen that person again. So, but I know that when things have been said to me, I know it settled in a place in my spirit that it never went away.
Mm-hmm.
And then as those consistent comments keep coming back, right, it helps build on top of that foundation.
Well, one thing I know, like people, one thing I hear a lot of people say is it's amazing how strangers will support you quicker than your family or people that you know in quote unquote real life.
Hmm.
I've heard that so many times, and people are so shocked at how much love people they've never met before will show them versus their own family that they know or see every day. And then I guess that speaks to your point where you get comfortable with people and you just either assume they know or you really don't give a shit. I mean, that could be an option too.
Yeah.
Um, but I think maybe people that you're refreshing for people that may not know you, like that don't see you as often or whatever, and because you don't know people's experience. So I
Hmm.
just say this. I mean, I guess for me, it's like I know, like I'll tell my husband and my son are kind of used to it now, but I'll randomly be like my husband does it a lot now, but when we first met, he didn't do it so much. But I'll just be like, I love you. Or I'll just text them out the blue and be like, love you. And they used to, or more so my husband, I guess, but, or even Josh has done it too, but they used to be like, what's wrong? You good? Mama, what wrong? Why you say that? And I'm like, nigga, what the hell? I crossed my mind. So I'm saying it. But now if I say, they be like, I love you too, or now Ralph does it, you did it this morning. And honestly, I didn't say it, but I was like, what the fuck? I said, you good? I did say that, didn't I?
You did.
I
You
said, love
did.
you too. I said, are you good? That was my follow up question because I was
Hmm.
like, what's happening? He's like, no, I'm just telling. Okay, cool. Because, like you said, it's not normalized.
Right. Right.
I
And interesting enough, that came back to me later this afternoon,
Mhm,
where a friend of mine called, and she called a lot, and I was busy at the time. So, but when I finally answered the phone, um, I was kind of like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" you know. So, and
Right.
she said, in her words exactly were, "Oh, nothing. I was just calling to tell you I miss you." And I
Oh.
was just like, and then even then, I still was like, "Wait a minute, you don't say that often. What's is something going on? You know,
Right.
is there a problem or some shit like that?" And she was like, "No, I'm just telling you." And
Mhm.
it, it really made it. It caught me by surprise because I don't do it as often. Therefore, I don't expect that.
Mhm.
And I think that's the part, right? So I'm not tying in what happened with my conversation with you this morning, but I love the synchronicity because it came right back to me
Mhm.
later on this afternoon where I had the exact same reaction because it's not normalized in our experience.
Mhm.
And I think that just like how that put a smile on my face
Mhm.
because someone thought enough to say, "Hey, you know what? I value you." Or when I was thinking about you, I smiled. And
Mhm.
so I just want to let you know. And I think, man, that's like, being the change you want to see to a degree, right? Or, just like living a whole nother type of existence and really manifesting like what it is that you'd like to see in everyday life, like being a partner or a co-creator in that. Does that make sense? What I mean by when I say that? Does that make sense? No, not really.
No, it does. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It does. Kinda, nigga. Shit, I was all over the place. I'm with you though. Don't go by me. My lips are dry, but that's neither here nor there. Now listen. Um, I want to play your song. Let's
Mhm.
take now. Let's take Marianne. Stop. Let You need to do better, Marianne. Marianne, I'm not. I'm starting to become unhappy with you. Was Marianne and Tia? They've teamed up. I think Tia has corrupted Marianne. Marianne, I have a feeling Tia's gotten to her, Jason. I mean the dynamicist. I'm not sure. I feel like, or the true Marianne is exposing herself. And why do people get to know me and then they treat me bad? At first they listen. No, they do. At first, look, no. Get back over here. Marianne, get your ass back over here. Get your ass, and I said ass, back over here. Leave Marianne alone. Here we go. Oh, okay, let's go to the song. These two support each other. Susan, don't jump on the bandwagon. Okay, Jason. You called me TF 2.0. I did. And it's apparent that I was right. Look at Spirit, won't he? I'm telling you, God reveals it. Okay, Tia, did Jason pick this song, Tia? You're gonna love it.
Oh yeah, she's gonna absolutely
Tia,
love it.
you're gonna love Jason's pick for this week. Are you ready, Tia? Here we go. Go night night. CP go night night.
Can you just imagine?
You say take my hand, follow me, I'm all for you, babe. You're for me, but I'm scared to trust, 'cause I'm scared you'll break it. But if I don't trust, how we ever
Jason is giving me, he's giving me king vibes. Look at this.
But I don't know what to do. I never felt this way before.
Yeah.
Nothing I wanted more than you.
Woo!
And you.
Yeah.
And you. I want
What's up, Kents? What's up? Welcome in. Let's get it.
You made me believe that if I fall, you catch me. Yeah, you got me healing, erase my fears, and the way you're gentle and always listening. Tender loving care makes me feel sweet. Hey, hey, I never felt this way before. No.
Look at Jason's nails. They're clean. You niggas can't have clean nails. Talk to me. It's possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that shit.
Pretty song.
That puts me in a mood.
My God, today. Tia, never
Man.
mind. I was. Tia said, "I'm gonna take a nap." Tia, wake up. We back.
No.
Tia, we need to get. Tia needs the softer side of herself. Tia, what's going on with Tia and her softer side? Look, she has a beautiful voice.
Thank you, Susan. Yes, she does. She really does. And I'm not really sure what this is referring to, but since you brought it up.
Okay, go ahead.
Since you brought it up.
Who, me or Tia?
No, Tia.
Okay.
This is for her.
Okay. You about to get it. That's what you get. Go ahead.
You know, in all you're getting, get understanding. Okay. I believe in this firmly and wholeheartedly.
Okay.
And I have learned you cannot ride with Tia on Fortnite.
Uh-oh.
Because at some point, Tia's gonna run y'all into some shit.
Finally, look, you got in the car with her?
Got in the car because she kept saying, "Jay, come on, get in the car."
She's
get in the
so
car.
Bossy on Fortnite. She is so boss. So you got in.
I got in because I'm trusting because they know more than me, right? All of them.
Right.
We had a cool ass little squad that was on there playing, but yeah, they hopped in. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. And I'm hanging out the window. Ready.
Not hanging out the window with your gun?
With the gun, ready.
Okay.
I had reloaded the bullets too. I'm ready. Right. Fucking Tia every time.
Ready.
She'll see two squads going back and forth into some shit. She'll run us right into the middle of the shit. Where you got niggas shooting from the right, left, and then she gonna tell me one of the last times she did this, because she did this multiple times, and it took me a minute to figure it out. Then she gonna tell me, "Oh, I told you to get out the car." When the fucking car was on fire before we started and got over there. The car took 2 shots and then blew up, and then she's gonna talk about. Then they talking about, "Oh, it's on you, man. You got to save us."
Oh, they died. You was by yourself.
Man.
Y'all, Jason's not on Fortnite. I mean, the dynamicist, he's on Fortnite now. He's having so much fun, and I love it. We do. We have so much fun playing the game. I mean, it's a form of release. And let me say this. And it's not, somebody's thing might be gaming and that somebody's might be something else, whatever. But I think it is very important that you find something. I don't care what it is: cooking, gaming, sewing, gardening, whatever, right? That you find something that is a release for you. Some people do exercise, they go to the gym, whatever, right? because I'm telling you, like, me and Jason be like, he be like, what he text me like, what you doing? I was like, sitting here, don't want to work. I'm on the clock, supposed to be work. I just can't do it. I don't want to be here. Even when I'm at home, I don't want to be there. That's some bullshit. But we got bills to pay. So me and him are like, oh shit, so we vibing. But the point is that that's our reality, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, whatever your schedule
Mhm.
is. When I'm off of this motherfucker, I'm doing all kind of shit. Sometimes I want to play the game. Sometimes I do whatever I want to do. I'm in the house. But Jason has got on. I'm so glad. I mean, the dynamics is he's got on Fortnite, and I am so happy. I am so happy because I mean he has a lot going on in his life. But Jason, tell him how I mean the dynamics is. This is bullshit, but I'm gonna try. The dynamics is, god damn it. Just tell him how it made you feel because you weren't. It took you a minute to jump
Yeah,
on.
it definitely did. And Redhead, I want you to bring up her comment, because her comment actually speaks to a lot that I was feeling right in that moment, where it was like, and I'm not saying this to be just saying this or to be facetious. I mean this, like, it was a godsend for me, because getting on that day, and I'm going through a lot of shit, and it's like stuff is happening left and right. Um, and you're trying to manage everything, right? And then when you said, I was thinking about playing or whatever, I was like, yeah, okay, why not? Fuck it, let's get on, and just play. I mean, I know I don't play the game good. I know I don't know how to play, right? But the environment that's created it's so encouraging
Mm.
that even if you can't play, number one, you will not be the worst person out there
You will not be. You will
in the
not
group. You
be.
will not be the worst.
Unless you've never picked up a controller. You will not be the worst. Go ahead. You ain't.
and and but it's hilarious, it's hilarious, and that it has a lot to do with your energy, right? It really does, because your energy just kind of comes through.
Mm.
But and having the other people that came on, and they were really good, and Tia's actually really good too. she
Yeah,
she
she
know
is.
what she's doing.
Yeah,
She
she
know
is.
what she's doing out there.
She bossy as hell,
She
but she
just doesn't know how to drive,
right.
so
But it's
I'll
okay.
listen to her.
We can't be good at everything.
There, yeah, that's the
Now
part.
she's better than me now. Now we gonna give her that much. Okay, go ahead. I'm let you. We played for almost 4 hours. Oh my, yeah, we was on that motherfucker for real. Tia's
But
local to reasonable reality.
But yeah, it really was, and I think that whole dynamic, man, and it's a lot like this, right? When we get together, irrespective of how you feel or how you felt, by the time you finish, it's like, oh man, I feel a lot better. I feel like I was, the term I'm using a lot now is, I feel like I was seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that says a lot in our everyday experiences, to feel seen and to feel like, my presence mattered in whatever way. If it's nothing more than consistently getting killed and somebody has to come rescue you and pick up your card, I mean,
Because even while you're
I
dead,
felt some
Jason,
kind of way about
I
that.
know that's the part. Like, listen, that's the part that trips me because it's like even when people die or you die, I'm telling you, we're so fucked up over there that you're still having fun. You're dead, and you're like, come. And let me tell you, I told Jason this. The dynamics is. I told him this already. My husband can't. I'm in my office, which is this area, playing the game with my headset on. He can't hear and he can't see. The only thing he can hear when he's home and in the living room is me yelling and saying whatever I say, right? My husband doesn't play Fortnite. So he's like, God damn, you fucking up. And I said, what happened? Look, all he hears is, I'm dead. Come get me. I can't believe y'all left me. Somebody rescue me. And he said, I be saying all kind of shit. And he's like, and I know you're the worst player. He's like, and they come and help you. I'm like, don't hate. Like, okay. But that's what we do. Is like when we die, we don't give a fuck. That's what's so great about it. You could die and still be great. because your mic is on. Let them have it. Talk to me. Let it out. Fuck it.
Yeah, or and
Fortnite
then
over for it.
and I'm sitting there talking about, oh yeah, that's that motherfucker that got me. Get him, get him.
Right. You're like, that's him right there. That's the one that shot me. Go get his ass. I'm like, he's in the store. I don't give a fuck. Go get his ass. So anyway, I'm just
Yeah,
saying that to say, whatever it is that's your outlet, let it be your outlet. Embrace it. It may not be Fortnite. It may not be gaming. It might be gardening. Whatever it is, we all need one, right? And don't.
yeah. Just lean into it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the big thing because when you're trying anything new, and so I'll give you this part because this is like something that I've noticed that keeps us from trying new things, right? So sometimes there's this fear that we have because when I'm not good at something and I'm not or as good sometimes as other people, right? You're doing this self-evaluation piece. And that self-evaluation, if you already have other things in your life and experience that you're jousting with, right? You
Mhm.
don't want to add something else.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's what keeps us from trying something new, whether it be outdoor stuff. So like what I said, I'll be out here kayaking or I'll go
Oh
hiking or
yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Well, I'm not the best hiker. I'm not the best kayaker. But the one thing I will
Hi,
say
Joe. Thank you for
is
coming.
that, when it comes to you leaning into something, right, you have to kind of speak to that childlike nature that we have. And that part of us has never gone away. You know,
Hmm.
you don't children, especially when they're really young, before we end up becoming tainted by society
Hmm.
and tainted by other people's expectations.
Oh my God.
Children don't give a fuck.
They don't. They in the oven. They doing all kind of shit.
They listen. I ain't got no clothes on. I don't care
Right.
about being naked. I
Right.
don't care about this diaper being soggy. I don't care about having peanut butter and jelly all over my face. I don't give two fucks.
Right.
I'm with all the shit stuff right now, right?
Right.
And that part of us right never goes away. That part is always there. Before we became self-critical, we gave ourselves permission to be. We
Mm.
gave ourselves permission to be. We knew nothing else, but
Hmm.
that we were taught that other people's expectations mattered. We were taught that. So because you're taught that, right, there's a process that comes along with this that you have to unlearn and
Hmm.
then relearn, right? And
Hmm.
unlearning is this, getting on that game. I stopped playing that game 3 years ago because I was playing with my nephew and them and they were whooping my ass.
Hmm.
And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, let's play Madden and I'll return the favor or whatever the case may be. So I never could really find the motivation to just do it. But fast forward some years, I've already started engaging in a bunch of shit that I don't know how to do and then got good and I'm getting better at it. Right. So then what happens is when you start getting better at something, right, your self-confidence in that
Yeah.
area starts to rise. And
That's
as it rises, then that confidence then overflows into other shit. And it's like, oh yeah, competitive bacon. Fuck it, let's go.
But
You
you know
know?
what? I agree with you. For me, what's difficult is it's like um getting started. That is the hardest part for me. I've been there where I started doing something I wasn't comfortable with. Did it consistently, got confident at it. I literally had my picture up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a gym called 24-Hour Fitness, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I'm from California. So in Lakewood, California, there's a 24-Hour Fitness. And I was on this journey. And, it had nothing to do with anybody else, but I was working out so much there. And I had a trainer. And I paid for the trainer. And I was working out consistently. And they had me put my before jeans up and my after jeans up. And I come in the gym one day just to do my normal workout, and my picture with my jeans before and after are up on the wall, like when people walk in. I was like, what the fuck? Right? So my point in that is I'm still fat, but my point is in that moment, I didn't have an expectation of the outcome. I was just doing me.
That's it.
And I know that that picture motivated somebody, I'm sure, right? And regardless of what happens after that, this is just I'm just using that as an example. This could be anything for anybody. I've never liked working out. And then I went through a phase where I stopped and then I started again. I came out here to New Mexico, started up at a gym, started losing weight again. Then COVID hit, and now here I am, right? I can't even get on the treadmill that's in my house because I'm like, I can't see, even though I've been through this twice before, I can't see the victory. Like, I don't see the outcome. And it's like, why can't I see that this is going to help me? Why can't I just do what it is I know is going to help me? Like, I'm stuck. I feel so stuck. And there's several reasons I feel that way. And now I'm older, and my husband's 13 years older than me, so it's like we're both just stuck. And it's a fucked up feeling to be stuck. But what can we do? I don't know. I just pray, and then but prayer only works so much until bitch, you gotta get on the treadmill. Like, okay, pray all day. The treadmill's right here, 20 steps away. Get on the motherfucker. And maybe your husband will follow you.
Yeah. Well, clearly he wants to play Fortnite, so we know he would.
He tried today, Jason. The dynamics is. You said you would help.
Yo, you gotta call me and tell me.
He tried.
I'll work with him.
He said, I'm gonna try again. I said, okay. But what the positive thing is, he didn't get angry.
He also said he's gonna do it again.
Yeah, he stopped before because I knew it was coming. So he stopped before he got like frustrated. But he's like, I can't do it. Like it is frustrating at first, and I told him that. I've been there. Like, I'm still not good. I'm 3 years in. Like, I'm still like, and I have a dead remote, right? Trying to remember the buttons to tell him to push. And he was really trying. We did it for like 20 minutes. He's like, okay, I'm done. I was like, okay, cool. And then I went and finished cooking or whatever. But he tried. And he's like, I'm going to do it again. I said, okay, we'll try later. That's where we're at.
Yeah. When you were just talking and said, what can, being stuck. And the one thing about being stuck is, so I'll use this story because I remember I was in Georgia and I was working in security. And I was at a country club. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I did this, but I decided to drive across a field. I still don't know what the fuck was I doing driving across this field, but I was though. And my vehicle got stuck in the mud, right? And I'm worried because I'm like, man, how in the hell am I gonna get this out of here? First of all, how am I gonna explain this?
So
I don't know.
So basically, you made up your mind you're gonna drive across it, and then it got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Right. Okay.
I to this day I don't know what I was doing and why I was doing it, but I did it while I was working, and so my truck got stuck because I got stuck in some mud, right? And I didn't see it. But anyway, the point of what I'm saying is this: somebody else there knew how to to operate a vehicle in mud, right?
Okay.
And it's interesting. He had an interesting story. I had no idea. But long story short, when he came, all he did was he began to rock the vehicle, right? And it wasn't just full throttle and you were spinning your wheels. It wasn't full throttle spinning the wheels, but he would just tap it, get it moving, let it rock, tap it, and get it moving again. And he's turning the wheel. And what he did was he used momentum to rock the vehicle to get it out and get it to a point where it would catch. And then after it caught, then he moved on, right? Moved it right up out of there. And it was seamless. And he told me a whole story about how he learned how to do that or whatever, long story short. But that same principle, I think is applicable when it comes to our experience. Sometimes when you're stuck, we want to full throttle it and get out. But it doesn't often, your wheels are spin because I'm not grabbing a hold of anything. But sometimes by just using momentum, right? It's little shit. It's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And before long, what'll happen is your wheels will catch something, and then you'll be moving. And then by the time
So
you
you
notice,
say
like,
it little by little.
it's little
So,
shit, right?
so don't be so. What Susan said, don't be so hard on yourself. You just do, and this is for anybody, right? Hi,
Yeah.
Liz. This is for anybody, including me. Like, I've got to do better, bro. Like, I've got to do. I'm to the point now where it's like enough is enough, Bobby. What is wrong with you? Like, why aren't you getting it together at this point? And um, like you said, little by little. So if it's something that any of us, in the sound of my voice, basically, that is something you need to do or needs to happen and it's difficult, baby steps. Baby steps. And
Legitimately.
and then when you fuck up, just keep doing baby steps. Because that's my thing. It's like, okay, well, I've tried this a million times. Let's try it again. Like, I get tired of just trying over again because all you're gonna do is do what the fuck you want to do. Let me tell you, speaking of doing what the fuck you want to do, me and my husband have the same primary care physician. I don't know if I recommend that moving forward for people, but just listen to the story. He goes to his appointment, and the doctor knows we're husband and wife, right? But there's HIPAA laws and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to my husband's appointment, and then at the end he's like, "Tell your wife I said hi. How's she doing?" He said, "Well, she got the only child syndrome, so it's her world, and we all in it. She does what she want to do. She does what she want to. She all right." Why would you tell him that? I need him to sign my FMLA paper. Why would you tell him that? This is what I'm talking about. HIPAA. But my point, my point is that my husband knows how I am, and he said the doctor just laughed because he knows too. Jason, I'm transparent. He knows how I get down, but
Oh, I
I've
know.
got to do something because even my doctor says that he's like, I need you to get this test, this test, this test. And I'm like, I could give him a million reasons why I'm not gonna go get this test, this test, this test. He's like, if you don't, you're gonna die early. I'm like, well, I mean, everybody knows what to do if I go. So I don't know what to tell you because I don't want to get that test. Well, why are you willing to accept the fact that he says you're gonna die before you're really supposed to based on health? If you don't do A, B, and C, and I'm still like, what is wrong with me? Like, bro, I'm like, what the hell? Like, usually if you tell somebody they're gonna die, they're like, okay, tell me what I need to do. And you writing it down. Like, I'm like, well, God is good. I have life insurance. My family knows what to do. Talk to me. I'm gonna be happy to the very end. Okay, but anyway.
Well, yeah.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get through the comments. I'm sorry. Hi, Liz. Liz's daughter's birthday was today.
No, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yes.
our nephew's birthday is today too. Well, your cousin.
Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
Why you didn't tell me that? Little Kenny?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's his birthday today too. So happy birthday,
Happy
Liz,
birthday.
baby.
How old is little Kenny though? 19?
He's 19. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Liz, how old is Jazz? Okay, Liz, check your phone. Okay. I gotta get. Oh Lord, we got people in here. Look at Danny's in here. Oh my God. Let me tell you about Danny. Okay, Lucy's in here. There's a lot of people that came in. I'm so sorry I'm missing people. I was in a moment. Sometimes I need a moment too. You guys just gonna have to wait. Okay, I need to get something out of this shit too. Jason, how much is it per hour? Okay, don't tell nobody. Okay, now, Liz, see what she did to me. Jason, can we go to another song? Hi, Lucy. Lucy was here last week, Jason. You remember that?
No, I don't even remember what day it was last week.
No, Jason, Lucy was in here. You said hi. You don't remember her being in here?
I don't even remember what day last week
It
was.
don't matter. It was Thursday.
I just really don't. You know what? I have had the hardest time keeping up with days, dates, events. Just I don't even know it's just so many things. It's so many. It's just so many things. It's just so many.
Just Danny all of me. Welcome in.
So,
Lucy.
but thank you for coming. And when we engaged, though, I remember
Gang is here, right, Susan? The gang
I
is here.
remember correct engagements.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can definitely go to a song if you want to. What's good, everybody? You were going to tell us something about Danny and the other people that I just don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Tia, you're apologizing for spelling somebody else's name incorrectly. You do that shit every fucking week. Hold on. You just put some shit up here and had my name spelled wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know
That's what she does. And then she acts like she does nothing wrong. This is what she does. And we love her. Listen,
yeah, we love her.
we love the imperfections. Look, I'm good, hun. Ma'am. Danny, look at the kids.
What's good, Kents? Man,
They,
where have they been?
they were here a little earlier. Kent's okay. We're gonna leave the Kent alone.
Okay, you're not gonna get them this time.
Because
birthday?
Fuck a
birthday month?
Fuck a birthday. If I talk about them right now, they in trouble. So I'm gonna be quiet because they know how I feel. They know I need a lot of attention and they haven't been providing it. What is going on? Okay, another thing. They're very we love the kids. Kids, we love okay, Jason. They know what it is.
Don't they share the same sign with you? One of them?
Only one of them. K2 does.
Which means he probably needs a lot of attention too. Have you been giving him attention as well?
He gets attention from everybody.
Come on, K2. Talk to me.
You don't need it from me. From everybody else. No Fly's birthday's tomorrow. What? There's a lot of Leos.
I know. Yeah, you niggas is nuts.
Mm-hmm. What? Wait a minute. I said before I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely love everybody in here, man. You guys, we're so thankful for you guys coming. We love it. Like literally every time we see you. We actually do look right up.
Oh, Liz said you want to learn something about your teenager. So you had a little get together at her house tonight for Jazz's birthday. Is Jazz a senior or a junior, Liz? But she had a little birthday party for like a get together, and she went live for a little while. So I'm interested to know what she learned. She said get all their friends together in one spot, and you'll learn something about your teenager. And that goes to what you wanted to talk about bridging the gap. Jazz is 17 now. But I also wanted to talk about Kirk Franklin and the whole thing about being married. But they're two separate topics.
Not really.
You don't think so?
No, because
it's look who made it in. Okay.
What's good, Danny?
Look at that. Keisha made it in. Okay, look.
So wait a minute. You were going to say something. Hold on. You were going to say something about Danielle earlier, Danny.
Oh, just Danny.
Oh, we got a Danny and a Danielle.
Yeah, just Danny all of me is different than Keisha. We love everyone here. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. Everybody's welcome. Hey, Jason, with your fine self. Don't he look like what's the thing, Jason? I keep forgetting. Wakanda Forever. What's it called? Black Panther. Leave K2 alone. Tia, stop. K2 is a man. Okay, No Fly is a Virgo. Oh. When does Virgo start? Oh, he's a Virgo.
Apparently it's tomorrow, I guess.
I don't know, but oh well.
His birthday's tomorrow.
Too bad for you, No Fly. I said what I said. Okay. I thought you were Leo. Okay. I take back my happy birthday. That's so mean. Why would I say that? Okay, Jason. Can we
Sad.
go to what do you want to talk about? Do
Yeah.
you want to talk about bridging the gap with the youth to because we have an hour left, or do you want to dive into the whole thing about being married and the expectations that you have to be married?
Well,
What do you
just
think?
go. Let's go with whatever. It doesn't matter. I can talk about whatever because I have standpoints about it, and I think there's some enlightening aspects about it. So either way, so we can play the video. We can get on that aspect, and then if we get back to the bridging the gap piece, we can get back to it. Um, because I think as an observation, I do think that's needed. And I'm seeing too often, and I'll tell you guys what happened in our family, at least, today, as a matter of fact. So, which is it's really aggravating to think about it, but it's something that we've got to tighten it up a little bit. And I think the responsibility is on us as the quote unquote adults of any
Oh,
situation.
you mean in terms of bridging the gap?
Yeah, it's really on us. It's not on them. It's really not on them. It
But
can't
a
be.
lot
Yeah.
of adults feel like it is on the kid in terms of hierarchy. I'm the adult type shit.
And that's therein is the problem. Because
And you respect me, you do whatever it needs to do to make it right by me, and I'm experiencing that firsthand. It's like you supposed to reach out to me because you're the young one, and you're the youngest. I mean, you're the kid, so you make sure I'm good. I don't make sure you're good. And there's a lot of old school parenting thoughts and theories that they believe that, like, and listen, for anybody that's listening, that it is not necessarily wrong. There's a lot of people that feel that way. Like, the youngster comes to you. When you come in the room, the youngster speaks to you. There's a certain hierarchy. Even when it comes down to something as simple as making people's plates. Some people say you make the kids' plates first. Other people say you make the man's plate first. Like, I know it sounds small, but when it comes to respect and your elders, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. I really believe that. But I also feel like when it comes to a spirit of teaching, at the end of the day, it comes to where are you coming from? What is your ultimate goal?
I like that.
My thing
Mhm.
is this: remove the ego, because to me, that's ego. That doesn't mean the kid doesn't respect you. The kid needs guidance, or maybe they need guidance. Maybe your ass need guidance. Let's not go there. You just ain't open to it. My thing is this: you've been here longer than them,
Mhm.
so if there's a disconnect, and you feel the disconnect, then you reach out and you make it right. Why are you expecting them to do it? They have less experience as a human. They've been here less than you. You've been here much longer than them. You have more life experience. You are the teacher. So that means it has nothing to do with respect. It has to do with, let me guide you. I
Yes.
don't, but they don't, but there's people that don't want to hear, they don't get that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's easy to kind of get lost in that and to not see the other side of it. But when you think about it, it's like it's the same way that statement is be the change that you want to see, right? And if you start thinking generationally speaking, you might have to be the disruption in your bloodline
Mhm.
because the way things have happened prior to you and the things that happened up until you, it is likely that because you stand at this interesting like intersection of between those different worlds, right? Because you saw things in life that they haven't seen yet, nor will they see, but you're also experiencing what they're experiencing. So because you stand in that position, right, sometimes there may come a point where you do have to make that transition and you have to be like the disruption. My dad used to say, son, he said, we're changing the stars in our family, right? No longer will the men not tell their children that they love them. No longer will the men not show their children and their sons and their daughters that I'm here for you, that I support you,
Mm-hmm.
that that irrespective of what's happened or what's been done, I fucks with you the long way. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna always fuck with you the long way. Right. And I might give you some perspective. I might not like what you do, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna ride with you. And so, coming from the generations prior to, that wasn't the narrative. The narrative was you measure up to what my expectation is of you. And if you don't, then you're irrelevant.
There's something wrong.
Yeah, you don't matter. So sometimes you have to be that disruption. And I think that's the part that you were saying is like ego is the thing that stands in the way of that, right? Letting that go. Yes, I might have to call my daughter. Who gives a fuck? Just call her.
Mm-hmm.
Call her, reach out to her. Yeah, you would love her for her to do it regularly, but motherfucker, did you do it regularly to your parents? No, you didn't.
Right,
You
right.
didn't do it. So yeah, it's a normal
I'm guilty of that
thing.
too. Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're thinking about your grandchildren, your great grands, and going down the line, would it be valuable? Yeah. So if when you make that change, where you're at, and shoulder that burden, and it is somewhat of a burden because it feels like, man, I'm doing something that wasn't done for me.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't done for me. They
That,
didn't
that's the
allow.
piece, Jason. The dynamics is
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
part right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get stuck on that.
Yeah.
That's not how I was raised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you complain about how you were raised, stop. Stop. You you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
You complain about how you were raised and how fucked up and dysfunctional it was. But then your argument is that's not how I was raised. Well, good. Good. If we're doing something that wasn't done to you, we on the right path. Period. So we're on the right. So let's agree to disagree. Let's try something different.
To get a new response
Let's
and get
just
a
try
different
something
result.
different because that family. I know in your gut you want the family energy. You want the family because that's what I was raised under. I was we're very family oriented. Blah blah blah. And you're the opposite, right? And I think there's and I'm gonna be fair because I think there's pros and cons both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that you can be overly doing too much where you're handicapping your children,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
then the other side of that is you could do too much where they don't feel loved. So there's a balance. And I don't see why if you have two parents who are the opposites, why there can't be a balance. Like let's bounce off of each other and find the balance for our child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like
yeah.
it's like, bro, this shit should not be this complicated, bro. It's annoying at some point.
Yeah. It is because it feels like we're constantly fighting an uphill battle,
All
right?
right.
And it doesn't have to be that way. But you brought up something good. You said when you have two parents, and if you're fortunate to have two, that's great. The other part of that though is that just because you have two people in a space doesn't mean that they're both involved or invested,
Okay, invested. That's the key.
right?
Mhm.
Because that's important. That's the important distinction is what level of investment is being made. Have they agreed within themselves to be the disruption in their bloodline, to
Mm,
be the change that they want to see? Have they agreed with that? Because then when you agree with that,
mhm.
and my wife agrees with that, or my partner agrees with that, then shit, we got something that we can build with, right? We can work with. And also, and interesting enough, this actually is aimed at the parental relationship, right, with our children, but it actually is really something that has everything to do with just human interaction and human relationships in general, right?
Okay.
Because when you're working with another individual, there's certain statements and stances that you would might be inclined to have to make or stand on when it comes to what is it that you're desiring to see, and I'm a big fan of the check-ins, right? And I think that's something that gets lost sometimes, and then as we're growing, we're maturing, and we're working shit out, and sometimes we're not communicating the just shit that we're working out, but we have the expectation that the other person should know, right? So having those check-ins and things of that nature, I think, is really helpful. But fostering this type of environment, if you really want to see that change, it's, hey, I'm finna put this motherfucker on my back. My shoulders is broad enough. We gonna walk this thing out, and I may have to take this thing all the way to the grave with me. I might have to, but continuing in the same trend that I've already acknowledged is not healthy and doesn't work,
Right.
can't do that. Yeah, we cannot do that. Oh, I like that, Susan, because they do, but that's an interesting one, because and that's always happens when you don't have communication.
You
Because
and
when
your
you have
parent,
communication, you know.
you and your mate have to be a universal front,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be like, even if you niggas don't agree on something, you better pretend like you do. Goddamn. You better pretend like you do, goddamn it. Because these kids are smart than a motherfucker. I'll be like,
Oh man,
no, what your daddy he said, and I'll be like, nigga, you know you didn't say that. Don't let me do that shit again. Don't put me in that position again.
they are very perceptive. They
Right.
are very, because they are observing the whole time,
Yeah, they are.
right? Because they don't have other factors in their life,
Mm-hmm.
but you're the primary factor. They don't have they don't have jobs
The
necessarily.
experiences, right.
No, and I'm talking about things that draw their attention. They don't have a lot of that shit outside of that, because they're being raised under you. So
Mm-hmm.
the only person that they're looking at majority of the time outside of themselves is you.
Right.
It's us as parents. They are watching everything that we say, everything that we do.
Yeah.
So, um, so they've become somewhat experts on, oh, I know how to do this. My daughter did this one time. She still brings this up.
Know how to do.
She wanted to get a piercing,
Mm-hmm.
and
How old was she?
she was like 16, 17, some shit like that.
Okay.
She wanted to get her nose pierced or something. It was some type of piercing. It was her nose, I think.
Uh-huh.
And I asked her, I said, why do you want to do that? And so she said, oh, because it's cute, whatever. I said, well, here's what I need you to do. I need you to research it, and then I need you to come back and then tell me, illustrate to me, why does this have value for you and whatever. And so she goes through her whole process. Long story short, she ends up being able to get it. But she never forgot that. To this day, she brings that up. And it was something I said I wanted to do, because I was talking about I wanted to get my nose pierced. And then she said, oh, really? You do? And why is that? And so she brings the shit back full circle.
Uh-huh.
Hilarious conversation. But there was a lot of truth to it.
Right.
And
It
where did she
makes a
get that from?
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, she got it directly from me. So what did I ultimately do? I submitted to the same process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good question. Let me
But
get
don't
back
you
with
hate
you.
that when they wait,
Yeah,
Jason? That's happened to me before. When them niggas that's how you know you done your part. When them niggas are old enough to flip that shit on your ass, and you like, nigga, I'll beat your ass right here, and then you revert. You like, that was wrong. I'll be like, Bobby, you shouldn't have told him you was gonna whoop him at 20.
because
You stop that. I was like, it was the principle. No, 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 no. He beat you at your own motherfucking game. You ought to be proud.
you ought to be proud.
You ought to be proud. I was like, nigga,
You know
who
what?
you
It
think
means
you
you're
are?
listening.
And I'm like,
Okay, all right. So let me show you how this works, and then let's flex it all the way out. Um, But anyway, to that point. But let's go ahead and run a story before we get too far
Yeah,
into
'cause I
this,
gotta use the bathroom.
and then we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, y'all. I'm gonna
We'll be
use
right
the
back. We
restroom.
got a dope video for you guys because I think this is a
You
a
want to
really
talk
interesting
about that, huh? I got it queued up, ready. This is about you niggas that want to just be married just so fucking bad. Okay.
That's not what it's about, but go ahead.
That's not what it's okay. I could play whatever I want, right? It's my turn. I
You're
don't
gonna do
even
that
know.
anyway.
That's true. Let me just hit shuffle
There we go.
and
Thank
let
you.
spirit lead me.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, spirit. Okay.
Oh, my.
This is called Still With Her.
Ooh, baby. Yeah.
Talk to me. I'll be back, y'all.
You see, an old man stopped me the other day. He said, young man, let me talk to you. You see, me and my wife been together for 30 years. I've done wrong and she've done wrong, but let me tell you this. I know my lady, she been doing wrong. And my friends say I'm crazy, 'cause I just can't leave her alone. But we got too much time involved just to throw it all away. You see, we got too many years, too many tears. Let it all go to waste. That's why I'm still with him. Oh, my man. Still with him. Trying to let somebody out there know I ain't going nowhere. Still with him. 'Cause I'm in love. Y'all, I'm in love. I'm still with her. See, we had our ups and we've had our share of down. No matter what happened, we always work it out. 'Cause we got too much time involved just to throw it all away. You see, we got too many years, too many tears. Let it all go to waste. And that's why, through all of the heartache and all of the pain, I tell my mama and tell my daddy I ain't going nowhere. Still with y'all, I'm still with. And I know people talk behind my back, but I don't care, 'cause I still with. Won't love make you cry sometime, won't it make you cry? Still with. But hang on in there, don't give up, work it out. Still with. Oh, y'all, I'm still with. Fella, will you moan for the ones that's trying to work it out? Shoot, do, 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 do. Oh, do. Oh, do. Fella, will you moan one more time? Shoot, do, 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 do. Oh, do. Ain't going nowhere. Y'all, I'm still.
No, we ain't going nowhere. We're gonna be with you in 2 seconds. Let's get it.
I wasn't done. I had to use the restroom. What do you want me to do? You want me to keep playing that song? Or you want me to turn it off? Okay, I'm done with it. Okay, are you back? Are you
Why
back?
did you even cut it off to begin with? God damn, you could have just let it flow.
Every good girl Need a savage. They say opposites attract, we can balance.
Come on, let's go, y'all. Y'all ready for segment number 2? Truth is in the building with her late motherfucking ass, redhead. Let's get it.
And whoever tell you different, they was capping. I know whoever slept on you couldn't manage. That's cause you inside a different type of bag, yeah. I would be wrong if I didn't give credit where it's due, yeah. You set the tone for these bitches, but you never would've known. Oh, if only you knew you'd do better. Hey, they better put some more respect on your level. Yeah, it's something about you. Bet they can't put you on a pedestal. I'm about to. I'm trying to slide on it, baby, like a house shoe. Give me the green light. You need a round two. It can go down. Oh, I can show you how to. Oh, if you keep me waiting, no mistaken. I'll be patient, baby. I salute it. Yeah. Cause I don't hesitate to tell you how I'm thinking, ain't no cap included. Every good girl need a savage. They say opposites attract, we can balance. I know whoever slept on you couldn't manage, but I can blow a check on you, take advantage. Hey, she a good girl, but the baddest. And whoever tell you different, they was cap.
Are the kids still in the building? I want to know your thoughts on the next subject for sure.
I'd be wrong if I didn't give credit where it's due. Yeah. You set the tone for these bitches, but you never would've known. Oh, if only you knew you'd do better. Hey, they better put some more respect on your level. Yeah, can't even keep up. Some only talking, but it's action when you speak up. Love when you slide with me, baby, keep the heat tucked. I know the streets much, you know you solid when we link up. Don't hesitate to show it off, let them all know. I wouldn't waste your time to cap when you know. Why would I pump fake and pass it? I update your status, better with a savage, even God know. Yeah, cause every good girl need a savage. They say opposites.
Pastor Star had 2 R's, just like Jason has 2 N's. True, do better. Talk to me.
And whoever tell you different, they was capping. I know whoever slept on you couldn't manage. That's cause you inside a different type of bag, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Okay, hold on. Okay, hurry up, pause. Okay, we done. We back. Star had 2 R's. True. He had yeah, he still does. Let me tell you something about Pastor Star. Just so you guys know, Pastor Star was our pastor growing up in Cali, in South Central. Okay, he was our pastor growing up, and he was a black man. He's still black, and he's still a man, and he's still alive. He is a black man who, I mean, Pastor Star. Okay, let me not get on that because that's.
Well, I mean, I don't see why that would be irrelevant.
Why it would be irrelevant or irrelevant?
Yeah. Why would it be irrelevant?
No, it's relevant. He was such an impact on our lives as young people in our neighborhood. A black man with the marriage, we obviously we're not part of his marriage. We don't know his ups and downs. We were young. But my mom was an integral part of the church. And my mom did go left. When I say go left, it's not a negative thing. It just means church wasn't her thing after some point. But that was a personal decision for her. But she was still connected to the people that matter, right? It's a spiritual connection. And what I can remember, my mom always respected Pastor Star. And he respected her the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like a mutual respect. And he would they would go to each other about things, even though there were moments when they weren't on the same wavelength. But they had the same goal. And they both reached people where they were at.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could put it. But I mean, I don't want to sidetrack off into that. But we were going to talk about Kirk Franklin. What you think?
Did she say he was? You know what? Truth. He was a handsome dude.
Diane, look at this. You
Uh,
notice this was an accident, Diane.
yeah,
When
it
we
really
both
was.
opened up our Jason was like the dynamicist. The dynamicist was like, wait a minute, we did it again. Because we always like vibe up on accident. Right. Dashiki, talk to me. Okay, go ahead. Let me get through this
Rocket.
comment.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. He was for me, and this speaks to, you know, sometimes you don't know the value. And I'm gonna give you guys tell you guys something. I called the church one day a couple years back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I don't even remember why I was calling. I think I was just trying to see, but I called and I spoke to an older deacon. It wasn't like Deacon Jones or somebody that I knew. It was somebody else, but he knew him.
Okay.
Um, and I remember him telling me, because I told him, I said, you know, I really do owe a lot
Mm.
to my experiences here. And as a young man, and having like a strong male figure
Because it's a
around.
new pastor there. He's a black man too. Like yeah.
Oh, at Ascension?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
pastor brought him in. Because pastor, he's doing his thing now. He's older. But yeah, go ahead with this
But
story. Yeah.
yeah, so when that happened, and I remember him telling, and I just kind of told this person like how I felt, and then he was like, you know, man, I would love for you one day to be able to tell him that. And
Yeah.
he said that, like he was like, you really have to tell him that one day, because um he would really appreciate hearing that. And I know that the journey is hard, and I think this kind of echoes back for those who weren't here earlier, was normalizing being able to say the things, not waiting until a person passes away, and or in essence, a way to say it is give people flowers while they can smell them,
Mhm.
right? Rather than waiting until something happens. It's like
We
let's
should do
normalize.
something. We should do something, Jason,
We should.
honestly. Because I talked to so you guys know our church that we went to was associated with a school as well from 12th grade to 6th grade. So I have people that I'm connected to that I went to actual school with that did not go to the church.
You mean
And
kindergarten to six,
what did I say?
12th grade to 6th grade?
Did I?
You said that.
Shut up.
You
Anyway,
really did.
so listen, but so I was connected to both the school me and the church, right? Okay, boom. Uh, so I'm just saying, like, we got Christy that I still talk to, Sean Neely that I still talk to. Sean hit me up recently, like, you still talk to Tish? I'm like, yeah, and it was like he was like, oh, word up, and I still talk to Pastor Starr, like. Mr. Jones passed, but like all of this shit, right? Honestly, like
Hey, does Sean have a brother named Vernon?
no, that was
Okay. Go ahead,
that
continue the story.
was yeah, Sibley. Their
Okay.
last name was Sibley. But yeah. So anyway, bottom line is when you say give Pastor his star, I mean his flowers while he's still here. Like we should figure out a way to do that. I don't know if we can bring everybody together. I don't really know. I could reach out to Judy, which is his wife, you guys. I don't know. I don't know if we could just be a card or something, but he was and is an integral part of our lives as youngsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like True said, he was very easy on the eyes. I'm just saying, it still is. Okay, period. But I
Yeah.
mean, just like Jason is. Look at Jason. Look at you. Have a good night. Okay, so anyway, we'll figure it out. But I'm with you, Jason, on that. Like, Jason, are you friends with him on Facebook?
No, I didn't even
Okay,
know he
I'm
was
gonna
on
send you
Facebook.
his shit. You need to just befriend him and inbox him. He answers Facebook. That's
Okay.
the one social media he's active on. And you can tell him whatever you, because
Ooh.
whether we get it together or not, you can inbox him.
I don't know if I want him on my Facebook page.
He don't give a
Ooh.
damn if he's on mine.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's right. Never
right?
mind.
Shit, he don't give a fuck. Okay, so anyway, what were we talking? Okay. Before we go to Kirk Franklin,
KJ, what's happening?
KJ's in the building. Hi,
Yeah.
KJ. Before we go to Kirk Franklin's comment about being married and the marriage in the church and all that, can we Can you just quickly recap what we talked about in the first hour?
Okay. So one of the things that came up in the first hour was, the importance of really speaking your heart to people, even strangers, and letting them know, being willing to pay compliments, letting people know how significant they are. We both had experiences recently where someone unexpectedly said something to us, and it kind of took us by surprise, right? Because we haven't normalized receiving compliments, or people going out of their way to tell you something that's really dope about yourself, or something that they like about you. Um, so the idea was, man, we really have to be intentional, and it'll be important for us to start embodying that, being the change that we want to see. Um, another piece that came as we were talking was pertaining to young people, and being also, and again, being a change that you want to see, understanding that you might have to be the disruption in your bloodline. And what that ultimately means is that there was a way in which things were done up until you. But if we can acknowledge that these things haven't really always been healthy, then it behooves us at that point to now say, look, fuck it. It's not going no further than here.
Yeah.
Moving forward, how I'm going to deal with people, how I'm going to deal with my family, how I'm going to deal with employment, or whatever other relationship that you have, what I'm going to do as it relates to that is I'm going to do something different, right? A part of that is understanding that ego sometimes will rear its ugly head, but that's going to be something that we're going to have to be able to put on the back burner. Is put your ego aside. Yes, it is an expectation for young people to speak to me first, absolutely. But even if they do not, if you set the standard, and set the standard in a way in which it's palatable, what will naturally happen is that they will then take that same thing and embody that moving forward. To
Mm-hmm.
that point, when Pastor Star was mentioned, and she was talking about the daishiki, and then like what I'm wearing, and then what Nirvana is wearing. Well, Pastor Star was actually the first person I ever seen wear one of these, legitimately. And as a matter of fact, he used to wear shit like this. And I remember him at church in LA, South Central, and everything, you see all this other shit around you, but he stood out in that respect. Very, very
Y'all
much.
talking about Nipsey Hussle. Now, bring Nipsey Hussle back some years when we were younger, right? There was a whole bunch of Nipsey Hussles in the hood where we went to church at. We had something called Holy Ground because our hood was full of gangs and other shit, right? But he had so much respect that the youngsters like us at the time that weren't gangsters, that weren't in the hood like in that way, um they had so much respect for Pastor Starr and his church that we didn't have shootings and shit like that. Like everybody respected that. I was gonna say that nigga. Girl, get it together. Everybody respected Pastor Starr, bro. Like from the
Yep.
hood niggas to the church people. It didn't matter because his spirit demanded a sense of respect. But it was not in an egotistical way. It was like he was just being himself.
He gave respect.
He gave respect. He
He
did.
gave
You're
respect.
right. You're right,
He
Jesse. He did.
gave respect, and in turn, he earned respect.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the things you didn't mention was that where he was located at was in between rival gang territory, because right across Crenshaw, on the other side of Crenshaw, was a whole nother neighborhood,
Right.
and then on this side was a whole where his church was at.
It was
So so it was easy for there to naturally be conflict, right? That would surface in those areas, but not around where he was at, right? And so to your point, um, he did that. And I think that's the part, right? Is that when you set the standard, right? You can't, ego can't be what sets the standard though.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm leading with ego,
Mm-hmm.
because you supposed to X, Y, and Z, you supposed to call me first, you supposed to do this shit, you the adult.
Right.
Nah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make the shift, right? And this also affects our interpersonal relationships with our spouses or whatever the case may be, and also having that buy-in to be the disruption. We're gonna do things differently because we know that what was done in relation to us can be improved. So let's improve upon that and let's build on a stronger foundation. So those are some of the things that came up within the first hour. I'm sure I'm probably missing one or two other points that were made, but the baseline of what we were talking about was as such.
I'm messaging him now.
Who, Pastor Sar?
Yeah, he was just on a little while ago. I'm just gonna tell him I just shared your profile with Jason. Okay, I sent it to you, Jason. Okay. And I told him I just sent it to you.
Now
Okay.
see, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that was the other thing. You just did the shit that we talked about.
What?
Creating the momentum. It's the small things. So
Hi, Mama Bear.
Coming out of from whatever, when you want to build motivation, it starts with those small, seemingly innocuous or insignificant acts. It starts with little stuff like that. You could have put that on a back burner. You could have done that later. 9 times out of 10, you probably would have forgot.
Right.
But you acted on it in the moment and said, "No, I'm gonna do that." When the more we build activities like that, for instance, during our break, the thought came to my mind was, after the podcast, put your shoes on and go for a fucking walk.
Is that safe in the middle of the night?
It's safe for me, motherfucker.
Okay.
All right, so
wait, put the gun in his holster. Come on, I'm ready.
Go for a walk. Right after the podcast.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, it's a nice thought, but I'm like, for what? Coming back to this is why. Because you got to start building momentum to get you back to where you want to be at. You act on those moments, act on those thoughts. And when you act on them, what you're doing is you're actually changing the narrative that runs in our minds. There's a storyline that runs that keeps us stagnant. And that was the other piece, was getting unstuck, getting out that mud that sometimes we find ourselves in this small shit that can help us to do that.
You're right. So, okay, so we're going to go. What'd you say? What happened? Something smart. I don't know what it was ego based. I could tell. Okay, we listen. Okay, so this next piece is something the dynamics sent to me before our last podcast, but we're talking about other things. But we did want to bring it up. I'm gonna play a clip.
Thank you, Truth.
I'm gonna play a clip of Kirk Franklin did an interview with Cam Newton. This piece of the interview was about marriage. Okay. And let's just talk about it. But first, let's just go ahead and share. And let's play the video. It's about 3 minutes. Then I'm going to need you guys to chime in.
Western Christianity, there are 3 areas that I've seen weaponization very strongly. I believe that marriage has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Giving has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Sexuality has been weaponized. It's very much that you living in sin, you need to get married. Without realizing that marriage doesn't fix sin.
You're talking.
So, Tammy and I have had to walk through deep waters because of a lot of the bad beginnings of religious dogma. That's why it is very important for people to understand the fullness of faith and to not allow the culture of Christianity to dictate what they believe God wants for them. For example, and any woman listening to this can attest in our culture. Don't be no 30, 35-year-old single Black woman and go to the family reunion. All the older women are going to do them. They're going to look at you and wonder and question you and challenge you on why you not married?
Where your man at? Where your kids at? All that.
Like it's a prerequisite for identity and value that if you don't have a man, if you don't have kids, that something about you is broken.
Mm.
Do you understand how dysfunctional these messages are?
Yeah.
And how we super spiritualize these messages? He that findeth the wife findeth the good thing. Yeah, but Paul also said, I wish that some of you were like me. I wish some of you could be single because some of you could even be more useful in the kingdom if you were single, Paul said. Now, marriage is a good thing, but Paul said, but marriage is a necessary distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look,
yes.
tip to that.
Do you know that there are some people? I have many friends that were in ministry at church, and the church has told them, if you're going to be in ministry, you can't be single. We're not going to let you work with the youth ministry if you're single. You can't do this if you're single. And so what people do, they quickly get married, thinking that they're fulfilling God's will for their lives, but they are fulfilling man's dogma.
Mm.
You can be single and be used by God. You can be single and have purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Being married is not a prerequisite for God's hand on your life. Mm-hmm. It is not, but we've weaponized it. Mm-hmm. And then crucify people. Where my camera at?
Right there.
And then crucify people when those same marriages
fail.
Crucify people when those same marriages fail. Crucify people when those same marriages fail. Where do we want to start on that? That's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot. First of all, I had to look up the word dogma. Let me keep it 100 with y'all, because I'm gonna keep it. I was like, "What the hell is dogma?" I looked it up. I googled it. So let me read that so you guys can understand, because I needed to really understand that. I could infer what it means based on the statement, but let's talk about it. So dogma is a principle or set of principles laid down by an authority as incontrovertibly true, which means incontrovertibly means basically you can't deny it. It is what it is. So somebody told you this is what it is, and just because they said it is true, that's dogma. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
So when we were saying about being a disruption and allowing, like, putting ego aside, that is exactly what I hear when he was speaking, because he's coming from a place to where I was raised in this, I was taught this, but at some point I've learned to challenge what once was taught.
Period.
Because just because it was taught and emphasized like as dogma doesn't mean that it's right.
Right.
Just because I was raised some way, a certain type of way, doesn't mean that it was good. Right. So I think opening up that conversation, as a matter of fact, I had a similar conversation recently as well, along this same line. And a friend of mine, we were going back and forth about, a difference of thought. But to keep it on the subject matter at hand, I've personally seen that. um, in my journey, when it comes to spirituality, my journey with modern Western Christianity,
Mhm.
I have legitimately encountered that, and I've encountered the mindset, and I
Mhm.
see where it comes from, and the sensitivities there associated with it. But it was always something that did just never settle right. It never felt right. Something about that just didn't seem like it made enough sense to me. But did I fall my way into the same shit? Absolutely, I did. I legitimately did.
So you believe that at one point?
So much so, yeah, I did.
Mhm.
So much so that when I got divorced one time, um,
Not one time.
yeah, it was one time
Okay,
when I
go ahead. Go ahead. You said it. I mean, he said when I got divorced. People usually say when I got divorced. Period. This nigga said when I got divorced one time. Go ahead. No judgment. Moving forward.
that really fucks me up.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get back to
Okay. Go.
it.
Go. 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 I'm sorry.
So one time,
One time out of the. Go ahead.
one of those times, I remember being so offended by it. I was so offended because
Mhm.
I was like, the fuck did I do this for? What was the whole purpose?
Right.
Right. So,
Mama Bear
but
said we're not gonna judge. Go ahead.
we're not the judge. You
We
know
don't
what?
judge here. Let him
Hey,
just do him. Go
you
ahead.
remember when Kevin Hart and Don Cheadle was talking and Don Cheadle told him I'm 56 and Kevin was like, damn, you know, with a straight face.
Couldn't believe it. Like what the hell?
Damn, Nicky, oh.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I get that kind of reaction sometimes when I mention that. It's like, damn, how many times every
If they only knew how many it was, but go ahead.
no, man, but the journey is real. This journey is rich. So, but no, yeah, I felt some kind of way about that, and I think a lot of people do, right?
Mhm.
It's because you're ultimately you're living your life through the lens of another individual, and you know, when my daughter is 22, and I was talking to her, and yeah, she had a child. She's my grandchild, and the thought process about marriage came up, and my stance was this: I do not under any just do not entertain the thought of marriage with the idea that I am going to look at you any differently or I'm going to treat you any differently because you are or are not. That is you that act has nothing to do with my support for you, my love for you,
Mhm.
what my desires are for you as a young woman and as my daughter and as the mother of the grandchild. It has nothing to do with that. And I know that generationally speaking, that wasn't always the case.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure that she was fully aware of what my standpoint is for you, that it's not based on that. Because there's a lot of shit that comes with marriage that a lot of people don't evaluate prior to going into the marriage. And so, and I'll tell you, like as a single man, you know, and I've made this statement on multiple occasions, is I'm I'm never sure if when I'm dealing with a woman, if
Mhm.
I'm actually dealing with all of that other shit, all of the other pressures that she has to deal with from a societal standpoint of my clock is ticking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I have to find somebody
The
and
older
you
the
do.
older you get, the more complicated the shit gets, bro.
Oh man.
In
Like
my
I like
opinion.
I'm not here to check off your boxes.
Right.
I'm not. I'm just not here for that.
Right.
So, you know, do you love me or is it the idea of me? Is
Come
it the
on.
reality of who I am or just the idea?
Talk to me.
Because I think sometimes that happens. And so as a male, right, I have to be mindful that that can be playing a role, right? The pressures. Friend of mine, her son is 30 and he's about to get married. And for whatever reason, I had this moment. I was just sitting there listening to her talk, and I said, if I knew him and if he would permit me to, I would really talk to him about that and make sure that the reason why he's doing it is the right reason. And it's not for as if like, well, ultimately God is going to look at me differently or God is going to treat me better. The universe is going to smile on me because I'm married. That's fucking so inaccurate. That it has nothing to do with nothing. But a lot of people feel that way because that's how the
That's
messages
the dogma.
are being delivered, right? That's the message. The messaging is packaged in such a way
Mm-hmm.
to suggest that if you are not, there is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, then in essence, in turn, that then fixes the problem.
Right.
But that is not the case. And I think that's what's so
And
concerning.
not even with marriage too. It's like even just being, your people having expectations on you, not even just marriage, but just being in a relationship, period. They expect
Mm,
you to either have some people don't give a fuck about the marriage piece. To be honest, some people are just looking at you because married or not, nigga, you ain't got a kid and you 30.
see, that's another one. Yeah.
Like, are you gay? Like, what's wrong? Like, something's wrong with you. Not that anything's wrong with being gay, but that's the first thing, like the old school thought process is like something's wrong with you if you are a woman or a man at a certain age and you don't have children. They don't give a damn whether it's out of wedlock or not. That's the other side of the coin. They
Yep.
just want you to have a kid to prove that you're sexually active and you can have children, I guess. I don't know. And it's so toxic. It's like, but to be honest, like in all fairness, it is what we know at a certain generation. And this is where the generation piece comes in. We have certain expectations because that's what we know.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna give you an example. My son challenged me recently. He was like, "Mom, you have a necklace with a cross on it." Now, you guys know I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Whatever your God source is, call it what you want as a title. But I know it's more than just me, right? And my son knows that too. My son wasn't raised in a church, so he's more of a spiritual being, right? Fine, no judgment either way. But he questioned me recently, and I didn't even know he noticed. He said, "You sometimes you wear a necklace with a cross. Why do you do that?" Like almost like he was challenging me, like, "You didn't teach me that. Like, why do you have a cross on? Like, we know there's no Jesus, type shit, right?" I had to explain to him, and this is the truth. I'm indoctrinated. I was taught certain things growing up, and those things still stick with me. Okay? Because that's what I know. So when I pray, I still say at the end, in the name of Jesus, because that's what I know. That's what I was taught. So that's what's comfortable for me. To me, that's not that important. Just stick with my frame of thought. It's my intention behind it that's important to me. And that's
Mm,
what I was trying to explain to him. The difference between he and I is you weren't raised in the church. You've never been baptized. So when you pray, it might sound different. He's praying to ancestors, which I do too, right? So he doesn't say in the name of Jesus. Jesus to him is not a white man. Like he has a whole theory behind it. That's fine. Neither one of us is right or wrong. And this is what I'm trying to tell him. Don't get stuck right there. It's not
mhm,
important. It's not
mhm.
important. You focus on what vibrates with you. and
Mm.
focus on the man you want to be. Don't worry about the cross I'm wearing.
Oh, that is a really strong
It's
point.
my cross to bear.
That's a really,
You
really
weren't
strong.
raised the same as me, and I did that on purpose. This is why. Because you're gonna choose your journey. I made a decision that I'm not gonna raise you in the church. If you choose that, I don't have a problem with it. I honestly don't. I don't have a problem either way. But my son is very free thinking. And and there was times, Jason, in the journey of raising him that I was so concerned. I was like, and my mom wasn't here to ask. So I was like, oh Lord, I hope I did. Because they say if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. So I was so concerned, like, even though I may have my own theory and I may have grown away from the church, blah, 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 I still had that foundation. He didn't have that. And that was on purpose. Even though my grandma was like, he needs A, B, and C. Well, I was like, no, I don't want that. I want him to
Mm.
make his own decisions, right? And I was so scared through that process. I promise you, I was like, I hope I'm making the right decision. If this nigga choose Satanism, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, it's my fault. But I mean, he didn't. But I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know.
No, it makes perfect sense. And and I will say this, it takes a lot of courage to do that. It takes a lot of courage to embody that. And when it comes through, how you go about living your life and how you go about articulating, your standpoint, what it is that you believe and why you believe it, to the point where I think we've kind of loaned out our ability to think
Mm-hmm.
to a degree, and we've kind of accepted this notion that if I think for myself, then there is a problem with me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not willing to accept what's been told to me on for face value. And this came up in a conversation about um not necessarily polygamy, but it was came up in a conversation centered around that, the notion of having multiple wives, or not having that, right? And my standpoint was a little bit different from my friend's standpoint, but the reality is that my standpoint is I don't think there's anything here that's worth me not challenging,
Okay.
right? I think everything should be challenged
Yeah.
because you have to find out for yourself, right? You have to fuck around and find out. And there's some things you're going to fuck around and find out and be like, oh, God damn it, I did hear that before. Okay, you know what? I get that now. I see how I got to that point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just because someone tells you that there's power in forgiveness, if you don't do the shit yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never really truly know what that power is, because you cannot truly forgive from a head standpoint any fucking way. It
Mm-hmm.
has to be a heart motivation,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where you let that shit go from, is from here, not from here. Because knowledge for knowledge's sake, and it's the thing, I hear this so often. It's like, all this surface shit that we get into, and we put all the emphasis on the surface shit, but it has nothing to do with who you actually are,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the thing that I believe. And so I'm a little bit different in that respect. I do believe that the character of Jesus is real. I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that that's not his name,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, do I believe that there is an embodiment? Absolutely. I don't have doubts for that, because I've experienced that for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what my journey is and what my story is just that. It's my journey, my story. I
Mm-hmm.
shared that with those that are necessary on my journey, because not everybody is going to walk the path that I'm walking on anyway. It's
Right.
like, I don't know what streets you guys got out there, but if you got more than one highway that leads in whatever direction, you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell me the road signs and the markers on a road that you're not traveling.
Right.
You can tell me the ones on the road that you have traveled and the road that you are traveling. You
Mhm.
can tell me of what those signs are. You can
Mhm.
tell me to look for this about mile marker 22. You can tell me that absolutely, but you can't tell me that if I'm on a fucking different highway going a different direction or if I'm just in a different highway, period.
Mhm.
Right? So the reality is, I think we put too much emphasis on some of those things.
Mhm.
Right? My thing for my children, all of them, is I want you to be empowered to make fucking decisions.
Please, thank you.
Empowered to make decisions. I
Yes.
want you to know the power behind. I was talking to Zion, and my son's 4. He's going on 5.
Mhm.
And he made a statement to me about his friends, and he was like, he was upset, and I took a video. I'm gonna send you the video. It was the cutest shit in the world.
Wait, Jason, treat him like he on the podcast. Come on, Jason,
Hey,
talk to me.
I'm gonna send you the video because he's 4, but he's talking and his
Right,
hand is going.
right,
And
right,
he's just like, and it was just, I don't like what they were doing. I'm
right,
upset about this. So I start laughing,
right,
right?
right, right.
And I start chuckling, and then he stops and looks at me and says, "Daddy, it's not funny." Right?
Zion's like, I'm serious. This is
He
serious.
said, "I'm serious right
Right,
now."
right, right.
And I said, "Well, why isn't it funny?" I mean, again, y'all think I'm like this just here? No, I'm like this in everyday life.
Right.
I said, "Well, why isn't it funny?" And he
Mhm.
says, "Because it's not funny." I said, "Well, you can't tell me. You can't tell me it's not funny." Right?
But it's funny as hell to
It's
me.
funny to me. It's
Right,
funny to me, and it's
right,
okay. I said, and it's okay for it not to be funny to you. It's okay for that. I
right.
said, so, but you can't tell me that it's not
But
funny to
most
me.
parents would have been like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not funny.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
No, because again, I'm modeling for him. Listen, son, I want you to be able to have your standpoint, and that standpoint is okay. But you
Mhm.
don't have to have the expectation that other people have to have the same standpoint that you do.
Period.
You
And
don't
be
have to have
okay
that
with that.
and be okay with that. It starts early. It starts in how what we model with them. There's certain things I am pretty cut and dry about, but there's a lot of things. It's like, no, let's have the conversation, right? You know what? You might be right about that,
Hmm.
and let's challenge. Let's try it that way or whatever. So, but to get back to the point is, I just think that, and I've seen this time and time again. Whereas people sometimes we're operating off of the shit that we've been told, and then we're wondering why shit is not working because you're using a platform that you're not living in.
Mm.
That's not how your brain is wired. That's not how your walk is administrated. You've got to narrow down what is the requirement for you. And if you need scripture, I can show you in scripture where there are plenty of instances where God says, I understand that that's what I told they asses, but I didn't tell you that. Like, and I can like almost not he didn't say asses, so I'm not gonna say
Right.
verbatim. But what I am saying is the
The
context.
Lord curses. Okay, go ahead.
No, but I am going to say that the context of it was that because yes, that is what I told them to do. But what did I ask from you? And that's the thing about that I've always embodied when it came to the spiritual journey is you've got to narrow down and get to the nitty gritty about what's necessary for your walk and
Mhm.
your life. And then if you're seeing things that you don't like, right, make the adjustment, start figuring it out. Like what? Okay, let me try this then. Let me try it a different way over here, right? But not getting so tied into
I mean,
it
if
has
people
to
get
be.
vested, people get so. This is my thing. Every
Mm,
based on your experience or maybe what you've been taught or whatever the case may be, people get so vested in their shit, in their perspective, in their journey, and what they know to be true, and all that, and then they forecast that on everybody else. And people, and I'm gonna use this as an example because it's an example every people can relate to. A lot of people, Jehovah Witness. I don't know shit about what they believe. I don't give a damn. But there's an ongoing thing where even if there's a meme going around TikTok or something, when it comes to Jehovah Witness, everybody laughs at what? The same thing. that they come to your door, you don't want them motherfuckers there, and they won't go away. You don't even know what the fuck they about to say, but you know they're gonna leave a pamphlet and you ain't gonna give a damn. Right? So my thing is that we always have these preconceived notions about people, biases basically, or what they are, right? I've never sat down and talked to a Jehovah's Witness and even gave a two shits about what the fuck they talking about, because I don't give a damn about religion. To me, it's religion, and this might be a place for me to grow too. It's like, who knows? I don't know. It's just like when it comes to politics. Everybody has a fucking opinion, whether it's religion, politics, whatever. You niggas can stay on that shit and focus on that shit if you want to. I am worried about my everyday life. I'm worried about texting Jason in the morning and be like, nigga, you signed in? Yeah, I'm signed in. I don't want to do it. Me neither. We gonna start at an hour. We both signed in on the clock getting paid. Not doing a motherfucking thing. Because we don't want to be here. I'm focused on my everyday shit. You niggas is focused on shit that don't matter. Like that's like way out. Like I don't have enough space in my shit to worry about shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does matter. I'm not taking away from it, Jay, because voting and who you have your leadership, it does matter to a degree, especially when it comes to like your local, people and shit like that, right?
Legislation, yeah.
Yeah, your local legislature, all of that shit does matter to a degree. I get it, and I'm not trying to downplay it, but what I'm saying is my ass can't even get on a treadmill. I need circulation in my legs. You niggas, my shit hurts, bro. Like my legs hurt. I already know what the solution is and what I need to do. I won't fucking do it. I can't worry about Kamala and Biden and my legs. Like, give me some grace here. Like, my legs are more important. My temporary handicap sticker expired in June, and I'm still using it. I have bigger shit to worry about, and you niggas is not gonna give me a cash app when I get a ticket. Go ahead, Jason. I've gone too far. Obviously, go ahead. I mean, I'm just trying to put it in perspective. That's all I'm doing.
Oh,
Where
you said, and I'm still using it.
it expired in June.
So
It's
yeah,
awful.
picking and choosing your battles. Listen, if you don't know,
Picking and choosing your battles.
if you don't know anything about
Where
us
the
at this
ushers at?
point, it's not. We're never on this whole idea of I have to be right.
No.
It doesn't really matter.
Truth.
We're gonna put the information out. How you decide to go about things is how you decide to go about it. But the hope is that you're being curious in the process. And that is
Stay
what my
open.
hope is. Huh?
Stay open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but I use the term curious
Mhm.
intentionally because curiosity means that you're open, but you're aware, right? And
Mhm.
you have that's an
Yeah.
inside. That's an
Right.
inside
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah. No, she's about right. I know. I know. She told me what I said. Go ahead, Jason. Just ignore.
Yeah.
I know.
I wish we were recording that part because that was hilarious.
I know.
But yeah, so just being curious on your journey, and playing with different ideas so that you can figure out what really works in your experience. Because there is a lot out there for you. And I'll tell you this, it's not, when I say it's a lot out there for you, it is, but the route to get there is from the inside out. It's not the outside in.
Right.
It's all this right here. What's going on here is your starting place right here. This is it. And if you start to work here from this space, man, life can transform for you. And you'll begin to see things that you never thought you'd be able to see, but you can. Because from manifestation to other aspects, other things that we know about, whether you're religious or just spiritual, right? Those principles run the same way through them all, right?
Mhm.
Your thought process, your inner life, your inner world. But you never get to that place if we're focusing on everything on the outside and
Uh-uh.
making the exchange of if I'm a good citizen, that makes me a good person. No, the fuck it doesn't.
Okay.
I follow all the rules, all social rules and all this other shit. So surely spirituality or surely the universe or surely God is going to respect that more than the next person.
Mhm.
No, that's not how that works,
Mhm.
because that has no bearing on the other thing.
Mhm.
So scripture says to render unto Caesar what's Caesar's and unto God what's God's, right? So basically there's a differentiation between the two.
Mhm.
So being open, being curious, that would be my thing. Just
Mhm.
and learn yourself. Learn yourself in this journey.
And what do you say about the what was it, dog?
Dogma.
What do you say about that? Like, how do you not become part of that? Where you're stuck on this authority told me this is how it's supposed to be, and you can't challenge authority.
The same way we just explained it, right? It's being open, being curious, right? Being willing to find what is the one. So I'll say this. Um, I had a guy come to me one day and ask me, he said, I was in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what's the most powerful prayer you could pray? And I'm thinking Psalms 23. I'm thinking the Lord's Prayer. I'm thinking all these other things, right? And I'm thinking certain scriptures that I was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and he was basically
Hi,
saying, like,
rookie.
I understand why you say that. He
Mm-hmm.
said, but the most powerful prayer you can pray is, Lord, speak to me in the best way that I understand.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that, I fought tooth and nail with that internally, because I'm like, man, nah, that's some of that old anti God type shit. I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. That's what I'm saying to myself. Well, fast forward, that never left though. And
Mm-hmm.
as I matured, I began to understand really what he was saying, because the longer you allow other people to define the world that you live in,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to continue to live an inauthentic experience, period.
Right.
Because it can't be authentic. Your life, your experience can't be authentic because you're living through someone else's lens. You're not living through your lens. You're
Mm-hmm.
not experiencing life. There are so many things that I'll see. For me, I'm a humor guy. That's how spirit and God communicates to me the most, right? It's through humor. So I'll see something and chuckle about it, but the moment I chuckle about it, I get a whole long list of things that comes up. While we were playing Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
We're chuckling, laughing, talking shit. I'm getting shot. I'm working it out, but I'm also aware of, I'm seeing teamwork. I'm noticing how I felt when the young cats, KJ, who was here earlier, he was playing with us, KJ
Dior.
and Dior and Tia
Mm-hmm.
and you, and then we had what's your boy name?
Antisocial.
And Ty,
SD.
yeah, SD came in. So while we were playing the game, but I'm seeing how I felt when they would make a concerted effort to come back and rescue my dumb ass
Mm-hmm.
from falling off of a cliff somewhere or some shit I
Right.
did.
Fuck it up.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, Tia came one time and tried to rescue me, and she's talking to me. What the hell are you doing over here? And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. I
Right.
don't know. But seeing that, right? So I'm in the moment, but this is
Yeah.
how God communicates to me. And what did he say? What was being said to me the whole time after watching all this, right? It's the power of a collective mindset,
Mm-hmm. We
right?
all had the same goal.
Same goal. The goals are aligned. We are a team, irrespective of what it looks like,
Mm.
right? So
Right.
it behooves me now, as I fast forward, I'm not trying to put my team in a bad position.
Right.
So I wanna function with them, right? Let's go. Let me come on the other end or whatever the case may be. So anyway, the point of what I'm saying
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
all of that was still communicating to me, but I can allow that because the thought process of I'm allowing God, I'm allowing spirit or the universe to speak to
Mhm.
me the best way I understand.
Yeah.
You're going to make it out of this season not by yourself. You're going to make it through the people that are closest to you. You're going to make it with them, right? So
Yeah.
what happened? You called, boom. What happened? Other people have called and just reached out,
Mhm.
right? Your season. So again, I'm getting all of this shit because I'm open to how I'm communicated with. And so
Mhm.
that's the thing I would say for people is, man, you gotta be willing to be open to you have a unique thought process, the way you look at life. And as you're open to that, you're going to see the things you want to let go of. Like, okay, this thought process doesn't really benefit me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so let me let that go. Right. And then I'll be able to I'm already going to be primed to accept the thought process that does work for me because it's
And let me
already
say
been there.
this too. You have to. You have to have somebody you trust. And when I say that, I mean it's not easy to dismantle beliefs and situations that are comfortable to you that you've been raised and you've been indoctrinated to, right? It's not easy to let those things go. You may or may not have to let them go, but what I will say is that I feel like, and where I have empathy is, it really is a certain level of trust that you have to have for the people around you to let go. And that's not easy. That's very difficult because humans and people are hard to trust. That's just the truth.
No, not really.
I believe so. I
I don't.
believe, like, as much as my husband loves me, right? And we know that, right? His experiences as a 62-year-old man, and we've been together, let's say 15 years, and he's really doing well with letting go and trying to let go of things that are toxic that he was raised under, right? That are not the same as how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
It is very difficult for him to let go of that because that's what he knows, and but the where the love comes in is that I can see the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
there, but I can see the effort. And so I have to be patient and kind and loving through that process because I know my intention. Mine is not ego based. I'm not here to be right. What I'm here to show you is that there's a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know what it means to have a loving family and what that looks like and what that feels like. You only know based on what you see from me. You know you want what you see that I get. Now we
Mm-hmm.
can look at that as envy, jealousy. You just want what I got. No, I don't look at that because I love them. Like I know that's not it. It is the fact that honestly, he loves me enough to try his best to put down that toxic shit. Whether that's going to be successful or not, or how much tolerance I have for it, that's a whole nother right situation. I don't know. I have to have the patience. Now, the way I'm growing is I'm learning patience. I love you enough to wait and to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And my son is grown, so I don't have no little babies I got to worry about. And I raised a strong black man. He's all right. I'm here for you. I got you. And the beauty of it is that he's there for me in the way that he knows how to be that I appreciate. They don't look the same. They look different, but the bottom line is although it looks different, we're both there for each other the way we need to be. Now,
Mm,
I got to step my game up and he got to step his game up. Does that make sense?
it does.
I don't know. And it's difficult. That's the phase in my life I'm in, and it's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm telling you, because we're getting older, and as you're in, and going back to the whole thing about being married and being people being stuck on. And the reason I told the kids I wanted them to listen to this is because I know I make a joke and I say a lot of times like, you guys need to get married, right? I'm joking when I say it, but I'm not joking at the same time. Like, people assume like the Kents need to get married, and I know they're okay with me using them as an example. But there's a reason why they're not married, right? And I think that a lot of times we get stuck on that's just what we think how it's supposed to be. Why though? I got married based on a financial thing. Like, my shit was a business decision, not off of love and none of that shit. My shit was a business decision, but I don't regret it. Some people get married just based on love. Who's right or wrong? Nobody. It's a contractual agreement. Like, maybe these motherfuckers just love each other and they don't feel the need. They don't have a need to get married. They don't need the contract. Who are we
Mhm.
to say they have to be married? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like
Good
you tell
point.
me, like, you're like, I'm not even sure I want to get married again. Right. Like, who's why do you have to? Why?
Yeah. And I think a lot of times we just have sometimes those storylines, that are running in the background, and those storylines are just feeding us information consistently, and but challenging them as to, well, why is that, right? Well, why do I need to do that? If I do decide to, it won't be because someone says this is the right way to go, or hey man, you should X, Y, and Z because
Good
of
night,
this, that,
Susan.
and the third. No, that's not going to be the case, right? It'll be because this is what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fully committed to that. Because commitment is not measured out by a piece of fucking paper and a ceremony.
Right.
Absolutely not. That means absolutely nothing. Clearly, it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, but to the notion about people being hard to trust, I think we should kind of circle back to that another time. I have some pretty strong stances on that.
Okay.
I have a different perspective about that, and it's seemingly counterintuitive, to a degree, but but not necessarily. It's just I think there's another plausible statement that can be made as it relates to what we've all experienced as it relates to people, because
Mm-hmm.
we all have those experiences.
Right.
We've had them, and we have them, um where people show themselves to be whatever it is, right? Something
Mm-hmm.
that less than desirable in your
Right.
particular experience. I'll say it like
Mm-hmm.
that. But nevertheless, oh man, I really appreciate this time though. I think this was really good. I enjoyed it. Having this conversation and opening
Thank
up
you guys
these
for coming.
these doors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very
I
much so.
appreciate it too. I did. I have a out there. We had a good podcast, and what I will say is, every time we have a podcast, I'm always on the couch like, oh my god, I don't know, I'm gonna get up, and I don't think I can do it. And then I get on, I'm like, okay. It takes me a minute, but then I just get warmed up, and that's because Jason and I are like that. Period. Like, we said the same thing. It's like we just feed off of each other, and we appreciate you guys coming in and sharing and participating, and hopefully, like, we can just, it's really about learning from each other. Like, we don't know everything. Like, we look at the comments, we read what you guys are saying, and we learn too. And I appreciate it.
Very much so.
I really do.
Very much so.
Can we go out with a song? I'm gonna go out with one track, and then after this, I'm gonna just end the live, y'all.
What's good, Brooks? I see her chime in. I didn't even know she came in.
Yeah, she been here for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna play a song, and then we out, y'all. Have a good Friday and a good weekend. Love y'all.
Yes.
This is called "Lose Control" by Teddy Swims.
No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I'm lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Problematic. Problem is, I want your body like a feel like a bad habit. Bad habits hard to break when I'm with you. Yeah, I know I can do it on my own, but I want that real full moon, black magic, and it takes two. Problematic. Problem is, when I'm with you, I'm an addict, and I need some relief. My skin ain't your teeth, can't see the forest through the trees. Got me down on my knees, darling, please. Oh, I lose control when you're not next to me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Yeah. I lose control when you're not here with me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not here with me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
Good night, y'all. Peace out. See you next time. Ooh, I don't know when next time is. Okay, bye. We'll see you. Bye bye. Shit.